Welcome to Relationship Tales, a series where we talk about relationships, that cuts across all corners and all phases of life, from romance, romantic relationship, work relationships, to family relationship, and friendship. So, in this episode, we are going to be talking about certain aspects of relationship that is beautiful and something that we should look out for whenever we are engaged in relationship heading to marriage, because it's just Valentine's season and it's going to be a blessing to you, I promise. So here with me today again is Golden. Over to you. Where do we start?
Okay, our first question will be on marriage. So that will be on time frame for marriage. In the society we find ourselves in, we believe that once a lady is, let me say, a particular age, some people will tell you, from 19 to 25 or from 20 to 22. Everybody has different time frame. They'll be like, but then it's expected that before you turn 30, for a lady, you should be married. Once you're 30 and you're not married, to be hard, that kind of thing. So, but then what is your point of view? How do you see it?
Actually, we have different views on things, but in general, there is always an expectation for young people to follow a particular pattern that has been laid out. After school, you go for service. After service, you're expected to at least get a job. After a job, you're expected to get expectations, and even family expectations, right? And in itself is not wrong. Do you understand? But I think where it becomes something of concern is where we put so much pressure, and trying to compare timelines, right? Regardless of the fact that each and every one of us want to become something, we become it at different seasons and different times of our lives. Even those that started as primary school mates, they are not at the same place currently. The same vein when it comes to the society, I could be a first son and someone else a first son, and that one is married and I'm not married, right? Because of timelines and the phases of our lives and the uniqueness that is attached to my life being different from theirs, it should be put into context whenever we want to talk about marriage. And the problem is in applying pressure, so much pressure that would make young people that, in quotes, that I think it's time for you to get married. Even if the person wants to pursue something and they're not getting married, they are wrong. In the eyes of their parents, eyes of their friends, or the eyes of the society. What is she still doing? She's approaching 35 and she doesn't want to get married. It's a concern in an average family. In an average Nigerian setting and family, it's a concern. So, like I said initially, it's not a problem having expectations that are good towards your children, but it becomes a problem where there is an application of unnecessary pressure and unnecessary comparison between them and other children. That's my point of view.
Well, African parents usually they have this whole pattern of can't you see this person's daughter? She's already married, she has given birth, you don't want to give me my own grandchildren. Yeah, that kind of thing. Yeah, being picky about husband. This one came, this one came, he's comfortable, get the HR, you understand that kind of thing. Like they just want you to they go. Do I get out?
It's not a bad thing to have good desires and actually prompt have traveled outside of the country currently. That initially they say that they don't want to travel, that they love it where they are currently, right? And they traveled out of Nigeria because we are Nigeria, so we are talking from our own realm, right? And they traveled out. Eventually, it was not in their plan, it was not their desire, but somehow you find out that maybe a friend or even the other, like, have you considered going to traveling out, going to Thailand or Bali or Taiwan? If it's not in your mind, it is not in sight, right? And it cannot really become a reality. You cannot go where your mind is not. You find out that someone prompted you for you to look into this thing. So when it comes to marriage too, some people, they have already zeroed their mind. See, I'm not going to get married until I make $1 billion. It's not a funny thing, but maybe they came from a family setting where they had to struggle for everything. They had to, wriggle themselves through school. They have to even consider their parents and not ask for certain things, and this could make them to make a decision. So you see men that are 42, 45, men that are 50, and they are not yet married, and some of them have actually achieved a level of comfort that could get them a decent family going through. But they don't really want to. There's a fear. Because there's a fear in them that they don't want to really make their children to pass through certain things or family. So you find out that it's really a thing.
The next question I have here is, so how long is it expected for someone to heal before moving about to like a relationship?
Yeah. When it has to do with healing, I think it's individualistic. Right? But I believe one thing from experience in terms of counseling, I believe that there is a place of counseling and therapy. It's about structure. It's about helping someone to recover, right? Just like when you want to rehabilitate someone, right? And there are processes you take that person through to aid them to recover fast. If they are not going through that process, it's going to be difficult for them. Someone that had an accident, right, can also, be helped, through physiotherapy, right? So that they can actually start walking again or start using, a part of their body that, was not really functioning well again. The same thing applies to relationship. If you have a kind of relationship that was abusive, you are the type that your man used to beat you and all that, it has left an imprint on you. And so whenever you come to meet another man, the tendency for you to misrepresent things, I think it's going to be very high. So wisdom demands that you allow yourself to heal. And for you to heal, the time frame depends on you personally. And some other persons, it might take them some time based on many factors that may not be shared here. Maybe the intensity of their devotion and commitment, what they put in that particular relationship can actually make them to take a longer time to heal than another. There's no particular time frame, but my suggestion is that counseling and therapy will help you heal fast.
I heard this story about a guy and a girl. They were dating. In the relationship, the girl, due to her previous relationship, like the person she dated previously, though he was like abusive verbally, as per you're good for nothing, blah blah blah, you think you're fine, this kind of thing, always shame. Yes, exactly. So now the girl got to a point whereby she became, I'll use the word emotionless. She became so emotionally cold
towards the guy.
Yes, towards the guy. So she has a wall high because she feels like no man can love her.
To date someone, whether you're a Christian, you need to actually have non-negotiables. That means this particular aspect is something that cannot be contested. When someone is not emotionally attached or involved in a relationship, it's a big red flag. That's why I said, why is she in the relationship? Which means that she has not healed, right? From previous relationships or whatever has happened to her. And this is the reason why it's not advisable to enter a relationship if you have not healed to a large degree. I use the word large degree because sometimes you may not even know that there still remains of your trauma or reaction until something else happens.
She cheats, like not necessarily with random guys or
cheat, like actually sleeping with somebody.
Yes, actually sleeping with somebody, but not how that put it, not necessarily with random guys. Let's say a particular somebody, or let's say people that she knows, that kind of more like a circle. Do you understand?
But she's in a relationship.
But she's in a relationship.
That's...
and